class, so I have to do a recording. I'll be going over my presentation, which is The Legacy of Jackson Pollock, written by Alan Capro. And I'll be going over introduction, Pollock's radical technique, the importance of process beyond the canvas, psychological and spatial dimensions, the birth of happenings, the future of art, and I'll conclude everything. So, and the legacy of Jackson Pollock, Alan Capro explores how Pollock's groundbreaking style forever changed the direction of modern art. Capro regards Pollock not just as a master of abstract expressionism, but as a revolutionary figure who laid the foundation for entirely new artistic practices. This essay is as much as a critical analysis as it is a manifesto, urging artists to recognize the radical implications of Pollock's innovations. So, Pollock's radical technique. Capro emphasizes how Pollock broke away from traditional constraints of painting by laying his canvas on the floor and using a drip technique. This method allowed Pollock to engage with his work in deeply physical and immersive way, rather than standing before a canvas and carefully applying paint. Pollock moved around and within his artwork, suggesting that the act of painting itself was as important as the finished product. So this is like one of the paintings that I think really correlate with what I'm trying to say. Number one, 1950 Lavender Mist. It's a big abstract painting by Jackson Pollock, made using his famous drip technique. He laid the canvas on the floor and dripped and splattered paint all over it, moving it around like he was dancing. The colors are mostly soft grays, whites, and a little lavender. Looks messy, but there's a rhythm and a chaos. You can even spot his footprints on the canvas. And for me, I don't know. I kind of see a skull. It might seem bizarre, but that's what I see in the painting. The importance of process. Pollock's work shifted the focus from the final image to the dynamic process of creation. Capro notes that this change encouraged artists to view art as a performative and temporal event. The painting became a trace of an action, a record of an encounter between the artist and the material, rather than a self-contained image to be admired from a distance. So it took me a while, but I think this image can encapsulate what I'm trying to say in this slide. Autumn Rhythm number 30 is another huge painting by Pollock that shows how deep he got into his process. He laid his canvas on the floor and used sticks and brushes to drip and fling paint in all directions. It's all about movement and flow, no clear shapes, just energy. The painting pulls you in like you're a part of the rhythm he created while working on it. It's pure motion on a canvas. Uh, so this beyond the canvas. Capro argues that Pollack's works began to dismantle the traditional boundaries of painting. His large-scale canvases, often without a clear focal point or orientation, broke the illusion of depth and created a new kind of space, one that engulfed the viewer. Sorry. Rather than inviting distant observation in doing so, Pollock opened the door to a new form of art that was no longer confined to the canvas or the frame. So I kind of felt this, I guess, picture was right to show that it emphasizes Pollock's ideals and I guess large scale framing. Psychological and spatial dimensions. Pollock's art, Capra suggests, tapped into deeper psychological and spatial dimensions. His intuitive movements and chaotic composition reflected the inner workings of the subconscious mind. At the same time, the sheer scale and immersive quality of his work demanded that viewers relate to the painting in physical terms, standing within its presence rather than merely looking at it. So I have this painting, Convergence, 1952. It's a wild mix of color, energy, and chaos. Pollock used thick layers of paint, dripped and splattered, to let his emotions and subconscious spill out into the canvas. It doesn't follow any rules. It's bold, messy, and full of movement, like a visual explosion straight from his mind. So this is the birth of happenings, which is a Capro movement, but deeply inspired by Pollock. Capro traces the lineage from Pollock's approach to the emergence of what he would later call happenings, spontaneous participatory art events. Pollock's performative style laid the groundwork for these new forms, where the artist, the audience, and the environment all contributed to the meaning of the work. The boundaries between artist and observer, and between art and life, began to dissolve. Cabot draws a direct line from Pollock to performance art. So this is a side-by-side image of Pollock and Capro, where he got his I guess the motivation or the I guess inspiration to for the happening movement. So the future of art. Looking ahead, Capro envisions an art world where traditional categories like painting and sculpture give way to interdisciplinary ex- experiential practices. Inspired by Pollock, future artists would work with environments, sound, movements, and materials not traditionally considered as art. This vision suggests a move away from galleries and museums toward more everyday lived spaces where art becomes part of life itself. So this is an image of Pollock and his wife. I put it there as I guess kind of correlates with the future of art as she's an artist too, and I guess their union can birth a new movement. At least that was my thinking. So, in closing, Capro presents Pollock as a pivotal figure who challenged the very definition of art. His influence extended far beyond aesthetics, altering the way artists think about space, time, the body, and the creative act. Capro's essay serves not only as an homage, but also as a call to artists to continue pushing boundaries, embracing the experimental spirit that Pollock embodied.